Okay, Mr. Ramesh, good afternoon. It's 3 p.m. now. The recording has begun. We can start now.
Okay, great. Welcome, all of you. Welcome to our students. I'm very excited because there's so many students and kids out there who are anxiously waiting for this session. I must say that the response has been overwhelming. All right. So, and of course, it's a very exciting topic with very exciting opportunities for all of you, all your kids there, to show your creative skills in paper plane making. That's our topic for today. All right, now today this workshop is about teaching you some basic skills, how to create good paper plane, right? So the topic of our workshop today is, in fact, we've got two very interesting and relevant topics I will share with you and who the speakers are, right? So the first topic will be on aerodynamics of aeroplanes. And here we'll have Miss Noor Azma Nordin. She's an aerospace engineer, right? And currently she is the aerospace consultant with Shas Innovation Solution. Shas Innovation Solution is a company belonging to one of our partners, that's Dr. Rahmat Shazi. Right? And then we will have another session on the tips of making effective paper plane. And here we have another very, very talented teacher, and she is Miss Cheryl Chok, and she is the founder of Stream Academy. So teacher Cheryl has actually prepared some very exciting materials to teach you how to make paper planes. All right. I think you're all very much excited. I won't take too much of your time. I will straight away pass to our first speaker, Miss Noor Azma Nordin. All right. Over to you.
Hi. Hello everyone. Hello young creators, designers, engineers, aviators. Hope you are well. Okay. I know many of you must have been working on making countless of paper airplane. But you must be wondering why your paper airplane behaves something like this when it's flying, like fly and then suddenly stall, and also when fly and it's rolling and stall, fly and before it stall it's glide before landing. Okay, it behaves different way. So behind these behaviors, it is science why it happened like this. Okay. So before we go further, we must understand what's required. I mean, what we have on the aircraft when it's flying, whether it's airplane or a real aircraft or even a bird. All right. So let me take this as an example. All right. So we have four basic forces. So thrust, what makes the aircraft move forward? Thrust. And then we have drag. Drag. Okay. Drag is something that moving in the opposite of the motion of the aircraft, right? And then we have a weight, gravity, weight. Okay, so pushing aircraft down. And then we have lift. I hope you can see it. Lift, what makes the aircraft fly and stay floating in the air. Okay. So what we can see in common between airplane and also birds, does they have wings? This kind of thing, right? This kind of design, it has reason why it's been designed like this. Because even from the top view and also from the side view, you can see they are having a airfoil shape. Okay, it's to make the airflow stream uniform and go through up here and split up and split down. The same goes into the wing. Okay, in the wing area and also the tail area. Alright, so for when the airflow is moving from here, okay, before they have something blocking them, it is normal airflow. And when it's moving towards this aircraft surface or your paper airplane, it's going to move over the surface of the aircraft or your airplane, okay? Over the surface, along the surface, okay? So the airspeed on the upper of the aircraft or your airplane become faster, while below the aircraft, below surface, it has a lower airspeed. And the lower airspeed, it creates a high pressure. When it creates high pressure, that is what creates lift, lifting the aircraft. Okay. So therefore, you will realize when we have a bigger lift. To have a bigger lift, we need to have a bigger surface of wing, so that we have more lift created below of the surface, and it can stay afloat longer compared to the smaller wing. Okay, and then that's why, but please bear in mind this design is different between the fighter aircraft and also commercial aircraft because of where it flies and what it is being designed for. For example, fighter aircraft, it wants to fly more faster and to maneuver. Okay, so you can see the fighter aircraft maneuver, but for the commercial one, like the paper airplane that you want to be making is like a normal one, so you will consider to have this feature. Okay, you can see, I'm not sure whether you can see or not, the difference between the wing these two aircraft. It has this one. It's like slanted feature here. So this will help to induce drag because again we have a high pressure here and it can go up to the lower pressure up here. So that's why we have this slant here to just modify the drag. Do you still remember what is drag is? What is coming from the front of the aircraft and will make a resistance from it. So this will reduce the vortex, the turbulence. When you be on the aircraft, you feel like disturbed. So that is we call a turbulence. We don't want our flight to be that disturbed. So you want to have a smooth flying. Okay. All right. And then one of the important thing to consider is the center of gravity. Okay, the center of gravity, typically the more forward the center of gravity is, usually somewhere here, it will help you, your flight is more stable compared to when you have a center of gravity more further to the back of the aircraft. What is the center of gravity? You can find it using how to balance your, during the balancing test of your paper plane. You can see that. All right. And then for rolling, you can find that, oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is also to, the wing. I'm not sure whether you can see or not. It's not actually flat. It's actually like this. We call it dihedral. Dihedral shape of the wing is more slanted above of the surface, it will help this aircraft when they are about to roll become unstable, so it will move offset. Offset is something like to counter back the rolling, so it will help the aircraft to stable again. So this is how it works. Also, the hydral compared to if you have only the smooth plane of wing of your airplane, right? And then please bear in mind when we talk about drag, we must minimize all the resistance of the surface. Okay, you make sure to make the surface is very smooth and everything is symmetry, because one of the most important thing is to keep things balanced. That's why when you make a paper airplane, you typically use the crease method. You fold. You want to look at the line, because you want to make sure that everything is symmetrically made, being followed the line. You are not going to make it unbalanced when flying. Okay, so one last tips of understanding what make difference between those having smaller wing and also larger wing. If you want to make sure your aircraft to fly further, it's best to have a bigger wing because it can glide through before it fall down. If you have a smaller wing, you need to have more forces to throw your airplane. So it depends. If you have a gentle throw, you might consider to make a bigger wing. But if you have a very strong force to throw your aircraft, then you might want to make a stylish smaller wing. It depends on your design because you are designing your aircraft. Alright, so I think that's all from me about the basic of aerodynamics of airplane.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Norazma. So that has been very insightful information about how aeroplane works, right? So she has explained the shape of the wing and how it affects the speed and the distance. So I think she mentioned about the size of the wing, right? So thank you. That is basically to talk about the science of wing design that will help you probably in designing your own paper plane effectively. All right, we move on to the next presenter, and she is Miss Cheryl. As mentioned, Cheryl has got lots of exciting programs and projects relating to STEM, and one of it is, of course, paper plane making. And prior to this, she's also been doing rockets, right, Cheryl? So, yeah, so Cheryl has been in this for a very long time. So we have invited her to share some tips on making some very good planes, which probably can give you some better ideas when you're going to participate in our paper plane competition. All right, to you, Cheryl.
All right, thank you, Ramesh. Okay, so I would like to share screen of just a little bit of introductions of what we're going to do today. My name is Cheryl. I'm from Stream Academy. Okay, so today we're going to make paper plane making workshop. And thank you, Asma, for explaining on the 4 forces acting on paper plane. Today, I'm going to teach you guys on how to build a paper plane based on Suzanne model. It is designed by John Collins, and it actually flew 226 feet 10 inches in 2012. So, okay. Let me pull this camera. Okay, so get ready an A4 paper. Okay, later after building this paper plane, the Suzanne model, I'm going to share some tips and some pointers on how we can build a very good paper plane that can fly very far. So get ready an A4 paper. Okay, so first, you can fold the edge, okay, to here. Make sure their crease is sharp. You can use credit card or ruler. Sharpen your creases. Okay. I'm making these dotted lines here as a guidance. Do the same for the next edge over here, fold it here. Sharpen it. Sharpen your creases with ruler. And you would have creases like this. Okay? And then from this edge here, fold it along to this crease here. Do the same on the other side. Let me pin my video. Is it better to pin my video? Hang on. So that, yeah, this is better, right? Okay. Okay. On the other side, this edge here, fold it along the crease here. Sharpen your crease with ruler or your credit card or your IC, okay? So you will have a shape like this. Okay? Then you will see that there's an intersections here, right? So for the top part, along here, you will see that this crease here will go along the line here.
Can you replay back?
I can, because I have put eyesight pointed.
Don't worry, guys. You can actually review this on the YouTube video. You can rewind it and you can pause it later.
Yeah, we'll share with you the video, all right? The link. Sorry?
Okay, basically, right? Okay, the first step is that you fold like this. Okay, I'm gonna repeat very fast. Fold like this. Make sure that the crease is all creeps. Okay, then the other side also do along for this end. All right, and you shall get two creases intersect like this. From then on, fold this edge along the crease over here. All right, and the other side as well, this edge as well. Okay, and you shall see an intersection here. So pull the top to the bottom. You will know you have a nice fold when you can see the bottom of the crease here is along the lines of this crease over here. Okay. you will see a shape like this. Okay, then go along the crease here and fold this side. All right. Okay, repeat with the other end. This side here, fold along here. Follow back the crease and the fold over here. Okay, you should be getting like this. After that, fold your plane into half. From here, fold it into half like this. Make sure your plane wings are symmetrical. Make sure the end of the edge touches the other end like this. Now, this part is a little bit crucial. This is the nose of your plane. Okay, leave around 3 millimeters like that. And you will see the side of your paper. Fold it to cover the triangle part here, the triangle point of your tail. Okay, make sure it covers the triangle part of your tail here. And from the nose, leave around 3 millimeters. Okay. Repeat the same for the other wing. Leave around 3 millimeters and the end of the paper to carefully cover the triangle point of your tail. You will get this shape. And there you go, you have your Suzanne model. Okay. So I'm going to share some tips on how you could improve the design of your paper plane. You can curl up the wings using pencils. And from the front view, you can make a dihedral angle by taping here. All right. Okay. All right. This is how the plane looks like. Okay. So now I would like to share some tips and pointers on how we could improve our plane design. Let me share my screen. Okay, tips and pointers for basically for a good paper plane, you need 3 things: good designs, good folds, and good throws. So for good designs, we wanted to have a better leaf. We want to balance the leaf and the center of gravity. So like just now what was shared, you could try to make your wings wider, or you could try to curl up your wings, maybe with pencils. You could also design slightly heavier nose to move the center of gravity forward. So if the gravity balances the lifting force, then the plane will move straighter. Now, a good design is reduced drag. We know that air molecules is pushed against the front of the plane as travel, slowing it down. So you could try to design pointy plane nose. And on the materials, you also could explore maybe different type of materials. For the Suzanne models, John Collins suggested that we use 100 grams laser paper.
Cheryl, can you pin the presentation, because we can't see it on the YouTube? Can you pin the,
right? Okay, so
if you pin the presentation slide.
Okay, hang on. Are you able to help me pin it? I'm not able to pin the presentation.
It appeared just now. While you're pin, yes, now it appears. Yeah,
Okay.
it's up.
It's up. All right. So if I put it on slideshow, are you able to see it still?
It's not on slideshow yet.
I got it on slideshow here.
Okay, now it's on slideshow. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good. Very good.
All right. Well, let's talk about how to reduce drags. Another suggestion by John Collins is that he said, try to use photocopy papers because the heat from the photocopy machine will stiffen the paper. So you can try with different materials. Make sure that it's not too light and make sure it's not too heavy, else it will slow down the paper plane. Other good designs mentioned is a positive dihedral angle. So we want to have our plane with a front view that has a Y shape instead of a T shape. So for the Suzanne model and for the contest, tapes are allowed to be used. So that's good news. You can use the tape to set your angle at the nose. If you want to follow the Suzanne model, at this angle, nose at 165 degrees and the mid-wing at 155 degrees. You can tape it like this, the pictures here. Okay, so another pointers are good folds. We want to sharpen the crease. You can use your ruler, credit card, or they have a special tool called the specially to sharpen creases. Or if not, you just use whatever that you have. Make sure that the wings are symmetrical. So you need to fold with precisions. You can also check the papers that you're using against light to make sure there's no torn, there's no marks, there's no scars on the paper. Do not let the wings and nose crumple. And if your plane is not flying straight, you can manipulate the directions of your plane by slightly bending the tail of the plane. So left to go to left, right to go to right. And if you want to climb, bend it up a bit. The end of the tail of the plane, bend it up. But if you want it to dive, then you bend it down. Now, a good throw or a good thrust also determine how far your plane can fly. So think about it. That's the strength or the angle which you throw has an impact. So it depends on your design. So if let's say you're submitting a glider design, so you try to throw gently, okay, at first, then you increase the velocity until you get the momentum that you wanted. But for like darts or jet designs, try to throw harder, okay? So also experiment with different angle of throwing, whether like 10 degrees or whether which degrees of your throw will produce a better result. I also would recommend that you try to fly indoors so that we don't have the effects of wind compromising your results. So, or you also can try to fly during less windy timing, like in the morning. And if you're staying in a condominium which has hall or gym halls, you can try to do it there and record it there as well. So the place where you hold your paper plane is also crucial. Try to find the plane center of gravity. Try to hold the place where there's the bottom part of the plane or where there's a lot of folds. Okay, when you pick up the plane, try to pick up from your nose. We don't want any damages to the wings. Yeah. That's all I have for today. Okay, if you like more exciting workshops, I do have STEM workshops every week. As for 6 to 12 years old, it's a hands-on learning with all materials delivered to you. So you can register with. It's a collaboration with STEM for All. So you can register with STEM for All. That's all I have for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to Ramesh. Thank
Cheryl.
you.
Thanks so much. All right. Okay,
How should
kids.
we throw it?
All right. Okay. So those who have questions, we will be repeating this video, or rather, you can replay this video, which I have shared the link. All right. Now, because of the time constraints, we can't take too much of a questions. But Uncle William will explain to you further on some of the steps. You know, you asked about how to throw further. Probably Uncle William will give some tips. All right. So I just want to conclude. Our first presenter talked about the aerodynamics. Our second presenter gave you some tips on how to make. Now we come to the final part of it, whereby Uncle William is going to tell you how to participate in this competition. Right. So to you, William.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Is it big enough?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. I want to just to give you some pointers as to the rules and guidelines. Now, this is something that I want you all to express yourself in the sense that what teacher Cheryl showed you was just an example of how you can make a paper plane, but we want to see creativity. That creativity, what I mean is that maybe you can have your own different creative folds and maybe make the wingspan as big and as large as possible to increase the level flight. Of course, your creativity also we take into account. You can color you can make your aeroplane look very interesting and dynamic. All right. So when you do your introduction for your what do you call it for your video that you'll be presenting, what I want to see is that introduce yourself first in the video. Introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and then take us through the process of actually building and folding the plane. And then when you launch the plane, the only criteria on that, let me just switch this to here. Okay, so what is required when you launch the plane? I think before I go into the words in front of you, the main thing is that when you record the video, that video must not have any cuts in it. So we want to see the video when you're standing from a level playing field and throwing it. Okay, so let's go to this. So each participant must give an online presentation on the creation. Okay, you must elaborate on the types of material used. We are suggesting paper-based material because it's easy to find in your homes, and you can actually launch it from anywhere as long as it's a level playing field. Okay, so when you give your demo on how you throw your paper plane, we want to see how you do it, how it's presented, and of course later on, before you throw your plane, make sure you X the spot that you are launching it from. X the spot. Then when you throw the plane, you can put another Y to it and then have a measuring tape and measure. Some of you may not have long enough measuring tapes. Oh, because it may be very, 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 very long. Doesn't matter. You can actually, if you pull your measuring tape to 6 feet long, maybe you can just go one length, two lengths. So from the camera point of view, we can see and gauge the length that you have done. Okay. So let me go to the third slide. So make sure you don't put any high-powered rockets behind your paper plane. That's not what we want. We want to see this hand launched, okay, from your own sweat when you throw the plane, all right? So as I mentioned just now, the distance measured would be measured from where you're standing from. So it's good to take maybe a tape and tape the floor when X where you are, and then throw the plane and then measure it from there. So the video must be a continuous take. That's very important. So no edit is allowed within the video. But if your If you want to introduce yourself first and show how you made the video, we can allow edit for that. But when you launch the video, you must show a one single tape. That's important. So again, measuring tape, use the measuring tape, paper-based material. So the final evaluation will be done by a panel of judges, and we will then list it down to about 10 of you guys. And after that, we will send you a link, and we will send you a link for the actual final, session on the 4th of September. Okay, so the criteria will be based on distance, aerodynamics, and creativity. That's very important. All right. Let me just go on now. The next one. So again, the decision of the panel of judges is final. Registration and entries to be submitted online to the organizers via Google link. I think you all have all this information already with you. And remember to upload as unlisted or public in YouTube, so then we're able to view your entries, okay? The top 10 participants will be shortlisted by the judges, and you receive an invitation link. And I think that's about it. So do this as best as you can, throw as far as you can, and be creative in your design. And good luck to all of you all. And I hope that we'll have many entries that you'll be able to participate in. I think that's all from me on that side, Mr. Ramesh.
Thank you, Mr. William. Thank you so much. Now, I think that gives us an idea as to how to participate in the competition. But I think Uncle William has not mentioned something most exciting, that the prizes, So the grand prize winner will actually win a drone, right? So that's something that I think all of you will have to put your best creative ideas across, right? And also there's cash prizes and vouchers to be given, right? So I would suggest you try to follow us on the Daman's Facebook, which I've shared the link, or you can also follow us on our Stand for All Makerspace Facebook to be kept updated on our upcoming programs related to this paper plane competition, right? So I think, many of the kids were asking for more tips and more detailed methods of doing it. Perhaps we can discuss with Daman, and maybe we can organize 1 or 2 workshops before the closing date, right? So the closing date is on the 31st of August, right? So with that, we have come to the end of our session today. And maybe I'll just ask Ms. Cheryl and Azma to just give some last words. You want to share something? Azma first, Azma. Do we have Azma still with us?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. You like to say something about this contest or something you'd like to share with the audience?
Okay, just be creative because when you don't experiment, you don't try, you never know what's the outcome. So you can try to make as much as possible you can do and experiment it. Okay?
Great. Yes. So creativity, yes, and experiment with new ideas. Right. And Cheryl?
Not much. You can play back. I understand that we're doing it a bit faster pace, but you can play back the video. If not, do drop me a message in my Facebook. Maybe I could send you some link or some of the presentation point.
Or you want to share your link here as well in the chat box? They can also communicate with you through your email. You can just post it in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. And William?
Whatever the efforts that you'll do will be your own efforts. So this is something that you all can actually express yourselves and show the creativity that you all have. I know you all got it in there, so you all just keep on trying. A shout out to Vanny there. I see a very beautiful background Malaysian flag there. I think we all should emulate what Vanny is doing and promote Malaysia, because we're coming to our 31st August. soon, and hope to see that. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So with that, thank you all, our wonderful presenters, and Mr. William, for giving the good inspiration. Okay, the key word here is creativity, right? And then experimentation, experiment with many designs, and then we'll see who's the winner, right? So stay in touch through our Facebook, and we keep you updated. All right, guys. See y'all.
Thank you. Good night. Goodbye. Good afternoon.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
See y'all. Thank you all for joining.